My name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to look into what accused number one Moses Sibiya did in the court, inside the courtroom of Judge Rata, while they were busy with his case, with the case of Senzomiwa murder. Sorry. So yesterday we were watching and something significant happened there. And sorry, what happened in court yesterday is not a minor procedural hiccup. No, it can't be. It goes to the very heart of a fair trial. And this is something I mentioned in my previous videos. You would remember that I posted videos yesterday talking about the interpretation of what is said by witnesses and how it is said, the importance of language practitioners, Zulu to be isiZulu speaking person and the Xhosa speaking person situation. I did a lot when it comes to those videos. Please go watch them and you will understand where I'm coming from. To come now and clap hands for Moses Sibiya because he touched on exactly what I was talking about, exactly the same day as I posted the videos that were talking about the interpretation. I don't know if I'm making sense. Now, accused number one, Sibiya, did something really sin, but absolutely necessary to be done by them accused. And I liked what he did. He raised an objection from the accused doc through his legal representative, advocate Charles Nisi. Why was he doing that? Because the interpreter misrepresented what the witness actually said. The interpreter misrepresented what the witness actually said, and it was a significant problem that he identified. With court interpretation. Umuzi, I was very proud of him. I still am. Specifically regarding the concept of especially regarding the concept of he knows. I thought he knows. The interpreter failed to include important qualifiers when it comes to that. Like, I think Muzi and I think Constable Zungu knows Muzi versus stating something like or something as definite knowledge, which could misinterpret the record. Muzi raised that concern about interpretation quality during proceedings. And I was so proud of him, guys. I won't even sit here and lie. I am so proud of him because that's something that I touched on, as I already said. And when something like that, and someone lets it go because we are in court and they speak English and I don't, it becomes a problem for the accused. It becomes a problem for the accused. So let us be very clear here. Interpretation in a criminal trial is not a courtesy. It's not. It is a constitutional safeguard. When interpretation is wrong, the record is wrong. When the record is wrong, justice is distorted. And I love what Muzi did there. Sibiya, as an accused person, directly prejudiced by the misinterpretation. Because Sibiya no Lona, they did not know each other like that, but they did meet in 2017. Oh, I'm so proud. So it was understandable, not prepared to sit back and allow an incorrect version of evidence to stand up, to stand unchallenged, and that was not him being acting or doing theatrics. No, this was not obstruction of anything. This was an accused person asserting his right to a fair trial, because now what was said by the witness was being said in a manner that the witness did not say. And the presiding judge had no option, none whatsoever, but to intervene, not out of sympathy, not out of favor, but out of duty. He had to make sure that it's fixed. He had to make sure that it's fixed. A court cannot knowingly allow an inaccurate interpretation to remain on record. Doing so would poison their proceedings and expose the trial to fatal reviewable irregularities. So, continue for Moses Sibiya, guys. The moment matters, guys. That moment matters a lot because it confirms something many observers have been warning about. Interpretation mistakes are not harmless. They can subtly, after and sometimes catastrophically, alter the meaning of testimony, the perception of evidence, and ultimately the fate of the accused. So it was going to be on record as if him and Constable Zungu knew each other. So that objection yesterday forced a reset. The facts had to be clarified, the record had to be corrected, and the integrity of the proceeding had to be preserved. That is not a delay tactic from Umuzi. That is justice system doing what it is supposed to do. Even when it is uncomfortable, it was needed to be done. The bigger question now is this: how many times has the interpretation gone unchallenged? How many inaccuracies slipped through because the accused did not interrupt the flow? How many times did it happen? The incident is a reminder, loud and unmistakable, that vigilance in court is not optional. It is essential. And yesterday, that vigilance came from the accused box itself, and it was needed. It was needed. To say that Umuzi was delaying or Umuzi was acting up, Umuzi was, you are being stupid if you are someone who believes that. Because Umuzi did what was needed. It's his life that is on the line here. It's his future that is on the line here. He had to act that way. I did not see anything wrong. Instead, I'm very proud of him. I don't know about you. And while that was busy, that costed, who's the guy? Unobo, his interpretation in that courtroom, because the next thing that we saw, just few minutes after that happened, the next thing that we saw, Ujonase was back. Apparently, Ujonase was busy assisting Mozambique Changan. He said, yeah, Mozambique Changan interpretation in another courtroom. I don't know if it was him or it was no, I don't know, but something was needed assistance in that courtroom because they were out of an interpreter the whole morning. So he had to go and assist with that to solve that problem because I believe he is the head of interpreters there, Jonas. So he came back, and then when he came back, just after that incident, we were like, Umuzi waxoshisa omunye emsebenzini. So Ungcobo was out because of that. Was out because of the explanation of Jonas. But nonetheless, Ungcobo isn't he Zulu? Okay, it's the George that is problematic, ne? I don't know. Maybe it's George. I don't know. But I expected him to do better. We need, yes, if in that courtroom bangahirisha uMbuso Khoza, if bangahirisha uMbuso, listen, isiZulu esinophuma apho. Yes. If bangahirisha uMbuso Khoza, amamele isiZulu esithiwa umuntu, and then ase ngapha kwisingesi, damn it. Into enoba iflow chart enokwenzeka khona. Iflow chart enokwenzeka khona. Yes, angayenza amahhololo okanye Umuzi, kubani kanene Umuzi sename yakhe, I forgot Umuzi, but nanku he has acted good generations kwisibaya kuphi naye bigs ups. Angayenza into eproper Umuzi phayana, angayenza, anazi bangumahlasela okanye ngubani sename yakhe, naye angayenza into eproper phayana. I believe those are the people that they must go for because they are speaking proper isiZulu. Those people, they speak isiZulu sasekhaya. So I think they will do justice in that Zulu language in that courtroom. They will do justice in that Zulu language in that courtroom. they need to approach Umuzi. They need to approach Umuzi, or they need to approach who's this man? Umbuso Khoza, because yes. Oh my word, yes. Even uRob Marawa speaks proper Sizulu, because uya emsebenzini ngabo 7 late. So that means during the day angaba khona ayenze yonke into yakhona, 3:30 they are done, and then off from that job to the other one. From that job angaya to the other one, to the radio job. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like, they need people abathethi isiZulu. uRob grew up eNkandla, so he speaks proper isiZulu. They need someone, guys. They really do. If they can't find isiZulu practitioners, they need someone who is going to speak isiZulu proper. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to that? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.